Hello, students. So today you can see that standards line is really large on what we're learning today. I am actually going to ask that you copy all four of those down in this lesson. So what we're going to focus on is some advanced equations. Now that we have this Piam sequence, turns out that there is some funny things that can sometimes happen. Not often, but just sometimes. So I'm going to ask that you pause right now. And yes, you do have to copy everything you see, including those full standards. And I'm sorry. Okay, welcome back. Okay, so thanks for copying those down again. I apologize. This is focusing on four standards here. It's everything from equations and inequalities. We're not going to touch the inequalities part in this first portion of the lecture. That'll be part two of our lecture. So our essential question right now is, what funny things can happen when no variables are there in the final step for equations? And really, I just kind of reiterated here that our four steps we're following, remember I used five, is we have that distributive, that combined like terms, two L's, our additive inverse, and our multiplicative inverse. And it turns out we can sometimes have something funny happen when we use these skills. When variables are on both sides of the equation sign, it turns out that sometimes they may be eliminated. So we have two possible solutions we have to learn about. The solution of all real numbers, also going to be known as infinite solutions, and the other solution of no solution. So when we solve our equations, if for some reason the variable gets eliminated, that meant it equals zero on both sides, so there are no more variables in the problem. We have to start evaluating if we did our steps correctly, and if we did, we want to check that final line. If that final line is a true statement, the solution will be all real numbers. And mathematicians like to use some symbols for that. They like all, and that's the symbol for real numbers. All real numbers is what our answer would be there. And for inequalities, it will actually be infinite solutions. And my smartboard is messing with me, so I'm going to rewrite that once I turn the page there. Now, if on that final line when the variables disappear and it ends up as a false statement, okay, well, that's going to mess with me. We're going to go to this page over here. Sorry, wrong way. If it ends up as a false statement on that final line, then there is actually no answer. And the symbol we use this is a circle with a line through it. And I call it a circle with a line through it because that's not a zero. A zero is a number, and a number would be an answer. So that is a circle with a line through it, which stands for no solution. Now, the first problem that students have when they learn about this is they think every problem is going to have these answers. These solutions do not happen often. So if it does happen, the very first thing I'm going to ask you to always do is double check you did it correctly. If you did do it correctly and this still happens, then we can jump to these solutions. And I will model this problem for you here. Again, I'm clicking the wrong direction. You guys can all make fun of me tomorrow. Okay, so step one, we draw a vertical line here. We're going to do our distributive property. And we get negative 6 minus 2r equals negative 5r minus 8 minus r. We're going to combine our like terms on each side. There are none on the left, but we do have some on the right. Negative 5r and negative r is negative 6r minus 8. Then we have to combine our like terms across the equal sign. I'm going to bring the 6r to the left side. And that's just because it is easier to carry the lighter number. And negative 6 is smaller than negative 2. So negative 8 comes down, and then we have negative 6 plus 4r. We have our additive inverse, and that gets us a negative 2, which equals 4r. And then we have our multiplicative inverse. And we get r equals negative 1/2. Huh! You must be saying, well, why didn't the funny answer not happen? I like to actually start with this problem to model that what I'm going to show in the next few examples does not happen often. We more often than not get a single solution, one answer to the problem. So example 2 here, let's go for example 2. We draw our vertical line, we follow our Piam steps. We're going to distribute first, which is only on the right side there. And you may have already started to see there seems to be an 8w on both sides. We do have like terms. Actually, we didn't have like terms on each side, but we do have like terms across. So we're going to bring that 8w to the other side. And that gets us a 14 equals 32. What happened to the variable? It went away. It disappeared. It became the number 0. And the first mistake for some students in this student, I'm going to model here, is some students like to say 8w minus 8w is w. But if you did that, you would actually be claiming the answer is 1w, because that invisible 1 in front of the w. And 8 minus 8 does not equal 1. So remember, 8 minus 8 is 0, and 0 times w is 0. Okay, so we did end up, we're going to double check we did this right. We did our distributive property. We combined like terms on each side. No, we didn't have any like terms on each side. Then we did like terms across the equal sign, and for some reason the variable disappeared. So we did all of our math correct, and we ended up with this false statement. Well, since we ended up with a false statement on our final line when the variable was eliminated, our answer is going to be no solution. So the variable was eliminated. This is false. 14 does not equal 32. This problem has no answer, no solution. That means any number we put in for w, to substitute in for w, would never make this statement true. Let's go on to example 3. We draw a vertical line. We start following our distributive property. None on the left, but we have some on the right. Again, your brain may see that that seems to say the same thing on the left and the right side. We're going to bring our like terms across. And it says negative 21 equals negative 21. What? Where did the variable go again? Always double check if this happens that you did your steps correctly. Because again, students, this does not happen often. But some students jump too often to make this happen all the time. And it doesn't. It's just a rare occurrence. So we did our distributive property. We didn't have like terms on each side. We brought our like term across. And this happened. The variable disappeared. And we ended up with a true statement. So since it's a true statement, the solution is all real numbers. So our solution is all real numbers. And I clicked over too far there just to help my writing on the smartboard today. Okay, so we're going to end part 1 here. Part 2 is where we pick up on inequalities. If you have any questions, please write them down in that question column and talk to me tomorrow. We'll try and help you out through this. Thank you so much, students. I'll see you soon.